The courtroom doors squeak open, and you could hear a pin drop. The shiny wood benches looked tense under the bright lights. Kody was at the table for the defense, his hands shaking just a bit, trying to look cool. Christine was right across from him, staring him down like she knew he was going to lie. She leaned forward, holding the table so hard her hands were white. Robyn sat quiet next to him, her lips tight, hands folded. She looked calm, but seemed upset. Janelle whispered to Meri, and Meri shook her head, seeming burdened by years of not speaking up. The coffee smell mixed with the wood and the nervous vibes. Even the staff moving around felt loud in the room. The judge walked in like he owned the place. Everyone dipped their heads a little, knowing he was the one who would sort out this family's mess. He hit the gavel once, and it echoed. "Let's start," he said. It got even quieter. Kody moved a bit, looking at Robyn for some backup, but she didn't look back. Christine stood up straighter, and for the first time in years, feeling strong under her worry. It was her time. First up was a family friend who knew too much. They walked to the stand, each step sure, knowing everyone was holding their breath. "I've known the Browns for years," they started, their voice steady but nervous. "I've seen the fights, the bad vibes, the things no one says out loud. Some were small, but others were deep." People gasped a bit. Janelle squeezed her hands together, trying not to shake. Robyn shut her eyes for a second, didn't want to cry. Kody looked at the judge, hoping he could stop it, but he was too late. Christine leaned forward, barely talking. "I've been quiet too long. Today, the real story is told." The judge raised an eyebrow, that she had to behave, but Christine didn't hear him. She was staring at Kody, who had been hiding stuff for so long. The first piece of proof came out, letters Kody thought no one would read. They were personal, showing betrayals no one knew about. The courtroom took it all in, the heavy feeling of things not said. Kody's face lost color. Robyn was teary-eyed. The witness kept going. These show things weren't always what they seemed. That there were promises broken, lies told, and worries made that not shared. Little memories flashed in the story. Quiet nights in the house, soft arguments in hallways, moments Christine thought were secrets. You could feel the tension. You could see wounds opening again. A tear dropped down Janelle's face. Meri closed her lips to stop a gasp. Even Kody looked jumpy, drumming his fingers on the wood table. Christine was called to talk. Her voice started soft, but firm. "I've kept so much in. I was quiet because I wanted to keep things safe. Everything. But today, it is all told." She looked at Kody, her eyes strong. "You can't hide behind quiet anymore." Kody swallowed hard, and for the first time, you could see him crack. Robyn leaned forward, trying to hear everything, every little change in his voice. Janelle looked down, wiping her eyes, while Meri's face hardened, the upset lines turning into a calm resolve. The judge asked for quiet as the witness shared more proof. Photos, bills, and voice recordings that didn't match what Kody said. The courtroom felt heavy. The AC hum, the papers moving, the clock ticking felt louder. Everyone felt the weight of years' secrets. Some flashbacks cut in, Christine pacing at night, whispering alone, Kody's back avoiding talking, Robyn silently watching, Janelle crying, Meri walking away mad. Each memory painted picture of the family's feelings. Christine's voice broke as she kept talking. "I can't keep everyone safe anymore. And I can't protect myself from the story that's been ignored for so long." Kody made fists on the table, his jaw strained as he tried not to react. It was tense in the air, too much in its intensity. The session dragged on by. Each piece of proof made the story more heavy. The wives went from tears to mad in silence. You could feel it yourself, like you were in the courtroom. As the first part of the court ended, the judge told them, "We'll meet again tomorrow. Everyone will talk fully. Today is only the beginning." Christine looked at Kody one last time while everyone filed out. Robyn's shoulders fell. Janelle whispered to Meri, and Meri nodded, looking straight ahead. The stress stayed, like a storm that about to fall. The doors closed behind the last people leaving. It left a silent room filled with things not said, hurt feelings, and the worry tomorrow will show more. The story was more to tell, and you felt edge of seat. That secrets has price that will pay. Day 2 in court, and you could cut the tension with a knife. Kody's sitting there like a stone, jaw tight, braced for impact. He keeps glancing at Christine. She's like a coiled spring, notebook open, fingers drumming away. Robyn's next to him, hands clasped, trying to look calm, but her eyes are screaming worry. Janelle whispers to Meri, "I don't see how he gets out of this." Meri shakes her head, lips pressed together, watching the witness stand as the bailiff calls the first name. It's a former family friend, someone who knows all the dirty secrets, stuff they kept off camera. They walk to the stand, shoulders back, takes a breath, and says, "I always liked this family. But the truth is, what you saw wasn't the whole story. There was lying and twisting things around. Things happened that messed everyone up." Christine leans in, eyes narrowed. She feels right, but is still angry. Kody shifts, looking sick, like the witness is stabbing him with every word. Robyn's hands clench, but she keeps her cool. Janelle's breathing gets fast, even Meri looks shaken. The witness starts laying out the details, fights behind closed doors, promises that were trash, and how Kody played favorites with the wives. You could feel the tension in the courtroom. Every bit of testimony is hitting Kody hard, and it shows. Christine raises her hand, asks to speak. The judge agrees and she walks forward, her voice quiet but strong. "For years, I was quiet, believed in the family, in Kody. I trusted him. I loved him. But trust is easy to break, and it just kept getting broken. I'm here to say that the family we thought we knew was fake." Kody's face tightens, his eyes darting to Robyn, hoping she'll back him up, but she's staring at Christine. He's on his own. The witness pulls out more proof, pictures of texts, messages between Kody and Christine, Kody and Robyn, Kody and Janelle, all showing he was two-faced and playing favorites. The courtroom is holding its breath. Each wife is a wreck. Christine's jaw is tight. Robyn's eyes are watering. Janelle is shaking, and Meri's lips are a hard line. We see flashbacks. Christine confronting Kody late at night, only for him to change the subject. Janelle sitting alone, crying in the kitchen while Kody was comforting someone else. Robyn swallowing her feelings, trying not to crack, but hurting inside. It all helps you see just how bad things were. The judge calls for order, banging his gavel, but the air is charged. Christine keeps going, voice shaky at first, then stronger. It's not just about lies and secrets. It's about trust, treating people right, and how he treated each of us. It's about his choices that hurt us, the favoritism, and taking advantage of us for too long. Kody starts to say something, then stops, realizing he can't win. Robyn finally speaks, her voice soft but sharp. "We can't pretend all is well. It's time for the world to see the truth." Then the witness drops a bomb, an envelope with papers about money and legal stuff that Kody did without telling the wives. The courtroom gasps. Kody turns white. Christine leans forward, eyes blazing, grabbing the table like she's going to fall. Janelle whispers to Meri, "I knew it. I knew there was more." Meri shakes her head, holding back tears, shaken by years of secrets coming out. Robyn's hands relax a bit, but her voice is steady as she tells the judge, "Your Honor, this hurt us a lot, and it's time the court knows the whole story." Everyone in the room is tense. The judge, the jury, the wives, Kody, all affected by the new stuff coming out. You could feel it in the air as Christine steps back, takes a deep breath, ready for what's next. More flashbacks, late-night arguments, fake sorries, moments of heartbreak shared in secret. The next witness is called, someone who has been watching Kody with the wives for years. Their testimony is clear and scary. Kody would often twist things around to stay in charge, the witness says. Sometimes one wife would feel alone or ignored, while another was his favorite. It wasn't by chance. It was planned. Robyn's eyes widen a bit, losing her cool for a second. Janelle grabs her notebook, steadying herself, while Christine leans forward, full of anger and vindication. Kody shifts, unable to say anything. Even the judge leans in, listening carefully. The tension is still building as we get more stuff, screenshots, letters, recordings. It all backs up the case, showing how Kody was playing favorites and messing with people's heads. The wives are a mess. Christine's voice gets louder. This isn't just about fighting or not getting along. It's about a lifetime worth of doing anything he can to hurt us, silence us, and lock us down in a cycle. Kody swallows, looking pale, realizing he's lost control. Robyn finally speaks up again, her voice steady but sad. We all trusted him, and that trust was trashed in ways I can't even say. It's about how it affected us. The judge calls a break, but the tension hangs in the air like a storm. Outside, the wives huddle, talking quietly, sharing scared glances. Christine has tears in her eyes, but she's determined. Janelle wipes her eyes, Meri looks numb, and Robyn's shoulders slump. As the day ends, you feel like something big is about to happen. Every word, every look, every little thing hints at the mess to come. Kody's silence says it all. The wives are a wreck, and the truth is finally coming out. The camera sweeps across the courtroom. The wood, the tense faces, the whispers. The storm is just starting, and you're left wanting more. Deep in a world of lies, feelings, and suspense that says more will be revealed next time. The courtroom felt like a pressure cooker. The lights were way too bright, reflecting off the shiny wood and making everyone's faces look stressed. Kody was at the defense table, stiff as a board, hands clenched so tight his knuckles were white. He kept glancing at Christine, Robyn, Janelle, and Meri, like he was searching for something he couldn't find. Christine stood up slowly, clutching her notebook. Her voice shook a little, but you could tell she meant every word. For years, she began, I believed in this whole Brown family thing. I believed in Kody. I kept quiet, thinking that's how you kept the peace. But it was all fake. The courtroom gasped. Kody looked shocked, a bit scared even. Robyn leaned forward, trying to look calm, but her lips were trembling. Janelle bit her cheek to keep from crying, and Meri just stared ahead, her lips pressed into a line. The first witness walked up, someone who knew the family inside and out. I've seen how Kody pulls the strings, they said, their voice steady and firm. He decided who got attention, who got ignored, who felt loved, and who didn't. The emotional damage was awful to watch, just devastating. Christine's hands were shaking a little, but she took a breath and steadied herself. Exactly, she said, her voice getting stronger. The emotional stuff is real. It's not just disagreements. It's all the trust that was broken, over and over. by the person we trusted most. Kody shifted in his seat, trying to say something. But the accusations shut him down. The judge leaned forward, ready for anything. The air was thick with emotion. Then Janelle spoke, quietly at first, almost to herself. I tried to be quiet. I tried to forgive. But there's a limit. He crossed that line. She looked right at Kody. I'm not going to pretend anymore. I'm not hiding my pain for anyone. Robyn finally spoke up, her voice soft, but full of emotion. We trusted you, all of us. And you used that against us in ways I can't even describe. It's not just that you betrayed us. It's the controlling, the messing with our heads, and the fear. The courtroom was dead silent. The witness started showing documents, screenshots, and recordings. Real proof of things that Kody said and did that didn't line up with his story. The Brown wives' faces said it all. Shock, hurt, disbelief, and anger. Each document hit hard, destroying the image of control that Kody tried to put on. There were quick flashbacks. Christine, alone at night, whispering about her problems. Janelle, crying in the kitchen with Kody nowhere to be found. Robyn quietly dealing with being shut out, holding back tears as everything fell apart. And Meri, who was facing the truth about her husband's decisions. Christine stepped forward, holding up some letters and texts. Her hands shook, but her voice was firm. These are the messages he sent, the promises he broke, the times he messed with us, turned us against each other, and made us doubt ourselves. This isn't just talk. It's proof of years of lies. People in the room gasped and murmured. Kody looked like he was about to pass out, sweat on his forehead. Robyn shifted in her seat, fighting back tears. Janelle wiped her eyes, but Meri just stared straight ahead. The witness dropped another bomb. There were decisions made in secret about money, personal stuff, feelings, that affected all of you. The favoritism wasn't an accident. It was on purpose, and it's messed everything up for everyone. Christine slammed her notebook on the stand, looking angry and relieved at the same time. We deserve the truth, not lies. We deserve respect, not being silenced. Today, we're going to make sure the truth comes out. Kody opened his mouth, then closed it, realizing he couldn't defend himself. Everyone held their breath. Robyn leaned forward, looking furious, and Janelle shook slightly, like she was getting ready for the next blow. Meri's lips were pressed tight, like she was bracing herself for the fight she knew was coming. The tension went up even more when the witness played a recording of Kody talking to a friend, discussing how he was going to control the women. People gasped. Christine flinched. Janelle grabbed the table. Robyn covered her mouth, and Meri looked completely shocked. Kody's face went white, and the judge leaned forward because he knew this was a key moment. The flashbacks got more intense. Late-night arguments, whispered secrets, fights that never ended. The audience felt every emotion, every broken heart, every moment of despair. The story kept going back and forth between the courtroom and the past, keeping everyone hooked. Christine's voice cracked a little, but she pushed on. You can't hide behind your charm anymore. All the lies, all the secrets, all the messing around, it's all here. We're done pretending it didn't happen. Robyn added, softly but sharply, the emotional damage is real. It isn't just words. It's years of control, fear, and sadness. And it's finally coming out. The courtroom felt like it was ready to explode. Every piece of proof, every word, every flashback built up to a crazy amount of tension. The audience was on the edge of their seats, feeling the weight of the years of lies and secrecy. Meri finally spoke, her voice calm but firm, cutting through the tension. For years, I tried to ignore it, to accept what I didn't want to see. The The messing around, the lies, the favoritism. It's real, and it's awful. It can't be hidden anymore. The last piece of proof for the day was a collection of financial documents, emails, and notes that showed the favoritism, mismanagement, and the control. The room reacted. Shock, disbelief, anger, and murmurs filled the air. Kody's face was pale, and his hands shook. Christine stood up straight, looking a mix of happy and sad. Janelle tried to stay calm, but tears were coming. Robyn grabbed her notebook, holding back a sob. Meri looked steady, but you could see the tension in her face. The judge called a break, but the tense feeling stayed in the air. The wives gathered quietly, sharing words of support and fear. Christine's eyes were shiny with tears, but also determined. Janelle wiped her eyes. Robyn's shoulders slumped a little, and Meri's expression was steely but tense. As the courtroom emptied out, the tension was thick, like the quiet before a storm. Every word, every reaction, every secret made the stage for what's coming. The audience was left on edge, knowing that the next part would change their lives forever. The courtroom was buzzing. You could feel the tension. Everyone stared at Kody at the defense table, where he sat stiffly, his fingers drumming on the wood. The shiny floor showed his every move, and dark shadows stretched across the room. Next to him, Robyn looked calm, but was tight-lipped, her hands clenched so hard her nails dug into her skin. Christine leaned in, her eyes intense, clutching her notebook like she was ready for a fight. The quiet scratching of her pen broke the silence as she got ready to talk. Janelle looked right at Kody, her lips trembling. Meri's face was hard to read, like she was hiding a lot of anger. The judge looked around the room, holding his gavel, knowing things were about to blow up. The first witness came up, a longtime friend who really knew the family dirt. "I've seen this family for years," the witness started, her voice steady but sad. "I've seen him play favorites, control everyone, and push them around. It messed each wife up, the kids too, the whole family. It wasn't just disagreements. It was bad feelings that just got worse over time." Christine's voice shook a little, but she leaned forward. "Exactly. It's not arguments. He pushed us around. He picked favorites, and we kept quiet about it for years." Kody squirmed, glancing at Robyn for support, but she looked away. The witness told stories that everyone had only whispered about before. Times when Kody cut one wife off to be nice to another. Private talks where he made promises he didn't keep, and ways he messed with their heads. With each new thing she said, the courtroom went quiet, and everyone seemed to feel the weight of the truth. Finally, Janelle spoke, her voice shaky. "I tried to be patient. I tried to forgive, but that's over now, and I'm not going to be quiet anymore." Robyn jumped in, her voice calm but angry. "We trusted him. We were all in with the family, and he took advantage of that. The mind games, favoritism, lies. It's time people knew the truth." The witness showed documents and screenshots that showed Kody trying to control the family. Emails, private messages, even bank records showed how he played favorites and pushed people around. The courtroom went nuts. People gasped, whispered, and the wives exchanged looks. Kody went pale, sweating, realizing how much was coming out. Quick flashbacks played. Arguments late at night, secret talks, crying alone in empty rooms. Christine pacing like she was trapped. Janelle crying in the kitchen while Kody made another wife feel better. Robyn quietly taking in all the stress and sadness. Meri giving up on fixing fights she once thought were worth fighting. These scenes made you feel even more for them. The air in the courtroom was heavy, hard to breathe. Christine stood up, her voice getting louder. shaky at first, but stronger with each word. These aren't just words or memories. These are facts. This proves he betrayed us and played us, and it affected everything in our lives. And today, the world gets to see it. Kody opened his mouth, but couldn't say anything. He tried to pull himself together, but was shut down by the evidence and the wives' stories. Robyn leaned forward, her lips tight, her eyes full of anger. Janelle wiped her eyes, and Meri's face was tense. Suddenly, the witness dropped a bomb. A recording of Kody talking about how to control his wives, playing with their attention and love, so certain wives would stay loyal, while others felt alone. The courtroom erupted with sound. People gasped, their eyes wide, sitting up straight. Christine grabbed the table for support. "This is what we needed," she said, her voice clear and strong. Kody looked like he was about to fall apart. Robyn closed her eyes for a second. Janelle shook her head, whispering, "I knew it. I just didn't want to believe it." Meri's lips tightened, her face hard but angry. The flashbacks got more intense, showing past times when they were betrayed. Christine hearing things she wasn't meant to. Robyn's quiet pain, Janelle's sadness, and Meri struggling with years of mind games. These memories hit the audience hard, making the courtroom drama exciting. Christine went on, her voice full of feeling. "You can't play us anymore. You can't tell us who to be or what to feel. The truth is out, and we're done hiding it." Robyn added softly, "The pain, the favoritism, the lies, they're real. And we're finally brave enough to show them." Another person spoke up, someone who knew about Kody's secret money and legal stuff. They talked about documents that showed favoritism in who got what when he dies, messed up family money, and choices that hurt each wife differently. The room reacted right away, shocked, disbelieving, talking about tension. Kody's face lost all color, his hands shaking. Christine stepped up again, waving the evidence in the air. Everything he did had a reason: to control, to play us, and divide. It wasn't just emotional, it was on purpose, and we've been dealing with the results every day. Janelle's voice cracked as she added, "We were trying to make things work, trying to keep the family together. But you can't when one person is pulling all the strings, choosing who matters, who is seen, and who is ignored." Robyn looked right at Kody, her voice soft but sharp. "We wanted honesty. We wanted respect, and we won't take anything less anymore." The judge hit his gavel, telling everyone to calm down, but the tension was still heavy. Every witness, every document, every story was breaking down the control Kody thought he had. The courtroom seemed ready to explode, everyone staring at the drama. Flashbacks connected to the courtroom talk. Christine arguing with Kody, Janelle quietly crying, Robyn holding back tears, Meri facing the bad truth she was scared about. The story went back and forth between what was happening now and memories from the past, so the crowd stayed interested. As the session ended, one last thing was revealed. The witness had a personal letter Kody wrote, showing favoritism and how he played them in detail. The room went quiet, and everyone leaned in. Christine gripped the table. Janelle trembled, Robyn's lips tightened, and Meri's eyes narrowed. Kody looked beat, the weight of his lies crushing him. The judge closed court, but the air was still charged. The wives looked at each other, their faces showing they felt validated, sad, mad, and determined. Christine wiped a tear, but kept her head up. Janelle sighed. Robyn seemed calm, but looked shaken, and Meri's face hardened, ready for a big confrontation. The courtroom slowly emptied, leaving a heavy silence. The crowd was on edge, Knowing what happened next would show the ultimate confrontations, and maybe even more shocking things. Okay, here's a more human-sounding version of the text. You could cut the tension in the courtroom with a knife. The wives were lined up, looking beat, angry, but also set on getting through this. Kody was at the defense table, pale, stiff, and his hands were clenched tight. You could tell the evidence, what people said, and what happened before really screwed with him. Today, all his secrets were crushing him. Robyn was next to him, looking calm, but you could see the hurt and anger in her eyes. She went through years of mind games, suffering in silence, and just being frustrated. Today, she's ready to face it all. Christine was leaning forward, clutching her notebook, tapping her fingers, like she was ready to spill everything. Janelle dabbed at tears she couldn't stop, and Meri had a hard look in her eyes, like a shield against what was about to happen. The judge banged his gavel to start. We're going to hear the last stories and look at the last bits of proof, he said, voice steady. The room went quiet, and you could tell everyone knew this could change the family forever. The first person to talk was someone Kody confided in for years. They walked up to the stand, sounding serious. I saw him play favorites, try to control everyone, and mess with their heads, they said. It wasn't just a few times. What Kody did really messed with each wife and changed the family in a bad way that's going to last. Christine leaned forward, her voice getting louder. Exactly. It wasn't just disagreements. It was games he played to control us, on purpose. And it ruined things for all of us. Kody moved in his seat, looking at Robyn like he needed her to tell him it was okay, but she didn't say anything. She just stared ahead. The person talking went on, telling about times Kody ignored or shut out one wife to be nicer to another, the little ways he tried to cause problems, and the decisions he made secretly that messed with not just relationships, but how people felt and who they trusted. Each thing felt like a punch. Janelle spoke next, her voice shaky but strong. I tried to forgive him. I tried to be patient. But you can only take so much. He crossed that line a long time ago, and I'm not going to stay quiet anymore. She looked right at Kody, and you could see she was angry and sad at the same time. Robyn finally spoke, her voice quiet but sharp. We trusted him. We thought we were a family, and he took advantage of that. Today the truth is finally coming out. The person on the stand showed some shocking stuff. Emails, papers about money, and recordings that proved he played favorites, made decisions behind people's backs, and messed with their heads. People gasped in the room, because it was all right there in front of them. Kody's face went white, and he started sweating. Christine gripped the table hard, and Janelle was shaking. Robyn put her hand over her mouth, and Meri's eyes got cold. Then we saw quick clips of what happened before. Christine walking around at night, arguing with Kody in private. Janelle crying in the kitchen, while Kody was comforting another wife. Robyn staying up all night because things were so tense, and she was heartbroken. Meri watching everything, feeling like she couldn't do anything but stay strong. It made you feel even more for what each wife went through. Christine stepped forward, holding up some letters and messages. Her hands were shaking, but she spoke clearly. These aren't just memories or feelings. They're proof of promises he broke, how he played favorites, and how he messed with our heads, and it messed with all of our lives. Today, we're showing what really happened. Kody tried to say something, but he couldn't. He knew he couldn't take back what he did. Robyn leaned forward a little, her eyes angry. Janelle wiped her tears, and Meri looked even more determined. The next person to talk was someone who saw what Kody did with money and legal stuff in private. They said he played favorites with who got what, didn't manage the money well, and made choices that hurt the wives in different ways, both with money and how they felt. People whispered in the room. Their eyes got wide, and they were tense. Kody's hands were moving nervously. Christine leaned forward, holding up the papers to show what she meant. Every choice, Christine said firmly, was a choice to control us and mess with us. It wasn't just about feelings. It was on purpose. And we've been living with what he did ever since. Janelle's voice broke as she said, "We all tried to keep this family together. We tried to forgive him. But you can't do that when one person is controlling everything. Today, you can't deny the truth." Robyn looked right at Kody. "We deserved honesty. We deserved respect. And we're not going to take anything less anymore." The judge banged the gavel to try to quiet things down, but it was still tense. Each piece of proof, each story, took away the power Kody thought he had. Everyone in the room felt the weight of what was being said, and you couldn't help but get caught up in it all. We kept seeing clips of the past mixed in with what was happening now. Christine arguing with Kody, Janelle crying, Robyn being heartbroken, and Meri standing strong. It went back and forth between the tension in the room and the clips, so you kept feeling invested. The last thing that was revealed was a letter Kody wrote saying how he played favorites and how he tried to mess with everyone's heads. The room went silent. Christine gripped the table. Janelle was shaking. Robyn pressed her hands together tightly, and Meri's eyes got fierce. Kody didn't move, because everything he had done for years was finally catching up to him. Christine stood up straight, her voice strong, even though she was crying. "We're not going to be quiet anymore. We're not going to let him control us anymore. This is the truth, and people are going to see it, hear it, and know it." Janelle nodded, her voice shaky but sure. "I suffered in silence for years. Today, I'm taking my voice back." Robyn added quietly, but with a bite. "The hurt, the favoritism, the lies, it was all real. And we finally have the guts to show it." Meri finally spoke, sounding calm but fierce. "For years, I tried to ignore it, to just get by in the middle of the chaos. But you can't deny the mind games, the favoritism, and the lies. And now we can finally face the truth." The courtroom felt like it was about to explode. Each reaction, each little thing someone did, each word was made bigger by years of lies. You were right there with the family, feeling everything they felt. The judge ended the session, but you could still feel the weight of what just happened. The wives looked at each other, and you could see they felt validated, sad, and determined. Christine wiped her tears, but held her head up high. Janelle breathed out, shaking. Robyn was still composed, but you could tell she was affected. And Meri looked ready for whatever was next. As people left the room, it was silent. The storm of feelings, lies, and arguments had reached its peak. Every secret was out, every lie was shown, and the wives were left to deal with it. You were left wondering what would happen next, knowing that the family's story had changed forever, and that what happened afterward would define them.